If you've got a teenage son or two in the house, you know just how challenging it can be to keep the pantry stocked. They seem to always be hungry. Whatever you dish up is consumed in a jiffy, and then they're looking for more. But a couple of teenagers is nothing. Every day, you're expected to feed all of your own cells plus your gut bacteria. This is challenging in and of itself because just like teenage boys, bacteria can eat, and there are trillions of them too. So, what do gut bacteria eat? Well, it depends. Some are really fussy, and some will eat whatever is going. Thankfully, the fuss pots are in the minority. When many gut residents find their favorite is missing, they make a quick adjustment to their gene expression patterns and start eating something else. Good for the bacteria, but potentially not so good for you. This is what a group of researchers discovered when they switched up the diet of a bunch of bacteria. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry as we discover what happens when bacteria go hungry. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. The typical human gut has up to 1,000 different species of bacteria. Now, keeping tabs on so many bacteria all at the same time is pretty close to impossible. So, the researchers in this study made it easier. They handpicked 14 types of bacteria for their study. The bacteria included a few fusspots and some generalists. At the end of the day, the researchers verified their pack of 14 could munch their way through anything thrown at them. Next, they put the pack of 14 to work by transferring them into the digestive tracts of germ-free mice. Now, these are mice that have been specially bred to have no bacteria living in their digestive tracts. Once the bacteria had set up home in the mice, the researchers switched up the animals' diet. Mice were fed either a high-fiber diet, which was a minimally processed grain and plant-based diet, or a fiber-free diet, which was processed in such a way to provide the same amount of carbs, fats, and proteins as the high-fiber diet, but with none of the fiber. And the final option was a prebiotic diet, which was the fiber-free diet with a selection of fibers added to it, kind of like a prebiotic formulation you might buy. The fate of the 14 was then monitored for 40 days and 40 nights. Well, a fiber-free diet caused hunger for a few fusspots, but the go with the flow bacteria quickly adapted. When the fiber was missing, the plan B food was bum cream. Yeah, I know, it doesn't sound too appetizing, but it's a human-made food source. So it's always available. So what exactly is bum cream for gut cells? Well, just like the cream smeared on baby's butt to keep the water out, bum cream, officially referred to as mucin, is smeared on the cells lining the gut to keep things out, mostly bacteria. Mucin is edible. In fact, there are a few fusspotts, like Akkermansia mucinophilia, that only eat mucin. But for most bacteria, it is not a preferred food source. But when there is nothing else, they eat mucin. The team observed that when there was no fiber, several species of bacteria, such as the Bacteroides cachea, opted to eat mucin. So what? Well, mucin supplies are finite. When bacteria that don't usually eat it tuck in, it doesn't take too long for the overall levels to drop. The net result? A thinner mucus layer. This can be seen here. That's quite a big difference. When there is no fiber in the diet, the mucus layer is a lot thinner. Interestingly and somewhat surprisingly, supplementing with prebiotics didn't actually help. The team think it's because, well, there just isn't enough of these fibers to satisfy the bacteria's voracious appetite. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out. When the mucus layer is thinner, the gut lining is more vulnerable to infections and to damage and inflammation, which is why you want to eat your vegetables. Carbohydrates in the form of natural complex plant fiber is what bacteria love to eat. Feeding them what they love will keep them satisfied, so they don't eat you out of house and home, and you create better body chemistry. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry, or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library and be sure to sign up for our newsletter. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who hates vegetables? Share this video with them so they understand they're eating for trillions. And when the trillions go hungry, the gut becomes vulnerable. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.